All right, so today's the day I'm gonna get started on. Ooh, bumpers. That's the rear from Move. I mean, I like the look of it for sure, and you sure save a lot of money by doing it yourself. Since Move puts out a bunch of great videos, and the instructions seem to be really good, so it was step by step. So I'm prepping the parts, putting a bevel on the edges that are gonna get welded. So the kits come with edges like this, straight cut. And then they recommend that you put bevels on the outside edges here where you're going to weld. So I'm going to keep prepping these parts, and then the next thing is to get the bumper off, the old bumper off. Alright, so I got it mocked up here per their directions. It's interesting, the front bumper they want you to build on the truck, but this they show starting off like this. I mean, that deck is supposed to be flat, right? Because that's the top of the bumper, so just registering it all flat like this on the workbench is good. I took a straight edge along here with a little persuasion, tap, tap, getting it all lined up with the straight edge. It's flat. Scuffed up the areas to make some tack welds. I'm going to go ahead and get that whole joint. Tack those, and then it shows tacking all these sections together. So it's just the 3 sections so far. All right, we got tack welded, and it's time to take the old bumper off. That is going to look super cool. I'm pumped about that. Also pumped that seemingly, at this point at least, my little welder's probably going to get the job done as long as it doesn't overheat when we start doing the long welds. But it's just a 140 amp 110 MIG. Alright, so to get the bumper off, you just got 4 knots. I pulled 2 off. They are 21 millimeter. Alright, so the old bumper's off, and this is the brackets for the new bumper. And they put these are the same studs, if you will, that the old one the original mounts to. And this is it's like a nut plate on the back there. And then the new, let's see if I can do this one-handed. Oh, and what I'd show you. Yep, like this. We'll get the nuts started. Alright, so I got those brackets in. There was a front to back play. Those holes are elongated. So I just decided to push them all the way forward, locked them down, and then you have to find the center of the truck and mark it. And I wanted to show you a cool feature on this. It's probably just a cheapo measuring tape, but something for you to look out for when you get yours, when you get one. Maybe when you get a new one. I'm going to string this out to measure the tailgate, and it comes up here to 63 1/4, and instead of me having to figure out what half of that is, just above that in the red, I know it's upside down, but 31 5/8 is the midpoint for that measurement, so you don't even have to calculate it. Alright, same thing on the bumper. So I measured across here, use that nifty tape to mark center line of that, and then and take that, line that up with that. Alright, I moved the bumper around to mark the general area where the bracket hit, because I want to scuff that up a little bit before I tack weld that. And I'm just hitting it with one of these flap discs. Alright, so that'll give us some nice clean metal to tack weld to. Alright, it's coming together. We're getting it tacked in, man. It's looking cool. Those wings, or whatever those pieces, those filler pieces, but it's fitting pretty good. I love it. It looks fantastic. together, so I guess the next thing is to remove it and finish all the welding. This video is going to span multiple weeks as I get time to work on it. Definitely making progress. I think my welding's gone from horrible to just really bad. I've got it mostly welded, and I wanted to start grinding to see how bad it was. So I got some that look pretty darn good, actually, and then some that are less good that I'm going to have to go back and rework. Honestly, this is my first major welding project, so watching tons of videos on YouTube and just practicing. This is probably one of the worst ones. I was going to try to take 2 passes here, and I'm not sure that was the right, well, I'm sure that was not the right approach. I really need to be doing just the tiny sort of semicircles and go across that whole gap, because I didn't even fill the whole gap there. This is where I had a wedge. You know, I ground an edge here and I ground an edge here, so the gap, this is a complex angle. That gap opened up. This is one of the wider gaps. I think I did better on this side, because I did change the technique, but I still didn't get it completely full. Update on how this little guy's doing. He seems to be doing just fine. I bought this just to learn, and I bought a small tank of shielding gas. I'm about out of that, so I'm going to have to get a new one. I'm going to get a bigger tank this time, since the front bumper is going to be a lot more welding. I'm concerned about getting in these corners here, so I did pick up one of these flap discs that wraps around the edge. Otherwise, for the work I've been doing, I've been just using flap discs, 80 grit flap discs. And then I still have the lugs to put on. Then I have the tabs for the light mounts to put on. Okay, so I've been doing a lot of grinding, and I haven't done any fill. Found that, you know, as you grind it down, it looks better and better, and I'm going to live with some imperfections on this, because I'm not building a show truck and I'm just not that good at welding, but I'm learning and getting a lot of practice. Some of these corners are really hard to get into. I think I thought outside the box a little bit. I broke out the old oscillating tool and started putting some discs from the orbital sander on there, so that they would wrap around, so I could push that into corners. But anyway, I've got set up now to tack in these light tabs. Got a couple angles in there on each side. Hold them in place. I marked them off. I bought these. I mean, these are the ones that Move has linked on their website. And then I mocked it up. I just put that on the tab, held it in place while I used a pencil to mark them off. And I'm just going to tack them in now. All right, I got the light tabs in. The only thing I left to really put together is the steps, and I am still got questions on this, because I haven't found a video that really shows specifically how the steps go. And I don't know if it's supposed to be welded from the inside or the outside. So this sets in here like so, like this. But I don't know if this is supposed to be flush, if it's better to, not supposed to be, I mean, is it better for this to be flush, or just wondering about moisture sitting in here and just wanting to rust. But I guess if I get it all painted real good, primered and painted, it should be okay. All right, so I ran out of wire and gas, shielding gas, so I know it'll last me for a long time now. All right, new spools in there. Baby spool, big spool. Gas regulator hooked up. All right, so I did go back in and fully weld it, both sides now, so. And the welds are looking a little better. Not great, not even good probably, but usable, I think. Well, I thought I was finished welding, and then I remembered I had to put the lugs on. I guess this is the happiest I've been with any of the welds I've done. All right, we're making some progress now. I decided to balk on cutting the hole with the plasma cutter, because I have not had any success doing it. Also, I kept tripping the breakers, and I noticed that all of our breakers were 20 amp breakers. And my garage is currently running off of one outlet way over there, behind the fan, behind the drill press. Yeah, I'm going to take care of that at some point. But until then, this kept tripping the breakers, so I would cut half of a hole, part of a hole, and then it would die. And I got tired of that. So, I'll show you what I tried. I tried just getting a 12 gauge extension, but it still was tripping the 20 amp breaker. So then what I did, since I have a 220 outlet over here for my table saw, I got that adapter to go from, this is the electrical cord from the plasma cutter. It had a 50 amp connector on it, and I got a connector to go to the 30 amp 220. It's one of the twist locks, and it doesn't even have a hiccup. It is just fine running on the 220. So I was having a lot of chances to practice here, but I don't know, it seems like you should be able to follow a pattern around, but I just haven't figured out the technique. And I really just need a hole. I need a hole right there. And I'm just going to do that with a drill, because I know how to do that. All right, quick trip to Lowe's. So I need to get from half inch to 1 inch. So I got a 5/8, 3/4, and then hopefully be able to punch through after that. All right, I've never been so excited to drill a hole. That's going to be just fine. And then I'm going to put the trailer box right there, like so. All I need to do is trace this. Curve is going to be a bear, but it's all going to be covered by this box. Because once that outline is done, this covers all of that edge, so it doesn't have to be pretty. Which is good, because we know what I'm capable of producing here soon. Oops, forgot to turn you on there, but that cut went well. I forgot to ground it first. Gotta ground your piece. Gotta ground the thing you're welding. You gotta grind the thing that you're cutting. You have to grind the thing you're cutting. All right, well, I'm afraid, but I'm going to do it anyway. My problem with welding and cutting now, too, is just visibility. Because, like, once you start and you've got your mask on, it's very difficult to get down low enough where you can see the line. And lighting has been a problem, even though I've added these two LED things. Are a lot brighter, which is good, but then I keep this light handy so that I can add light directly to where I'm going. I think, even though I can't get the camera in the right position, my eye can kind of see that, so I'm just going to do my best to follow that line. And it's going to be jagged and it's going to be ugly, but ultimately hopefully it'll be functional and it'll be hidden. That'll be the perfect combination. Bad, but it's not really bad. Well, I'm making it uglier, but if ugly means functional, I'll take it. I'm just going to get rid of some of these little rust spots, surface rust spots that have formed while it's been sitting here. Get it scuffed up, and then we'll be ready to put the primer on. Use the recommended Raptor acid etch primer, since it's bare metal, and it's said to use 180 to 240 abrasive. I'm going to use that. Thoroughly clean and degrease surfaces. Let's do that too. Use some heavy duty cleaner degreaser. that's it for the night. I'm tired. I'm gonna go in and rest, but primer's on, looks good. Check this out. Looking good. So I taped off where it's gonna interface with the truck, right there. And then I taped off this connector. Wanted to leave that in there so that that hole didn't get too full of stuff and then the connector not fit. And I scuffed this up with 180, and I think we're ready to go. All right, so I just got this 1 quart kit. It says it's enough for a bumper, so we'll see. And I was debating on how much of the back to do, or if I should do the back at all. I could just paint the back with black paint, but I figure while it's off, I may as well try to hit it with a coat. Should be a better finish, I guess, more protective. That's what I'm going for anyway. And then this is, you just mix all of this into this, mix it up for 2 minutes, connect it to your sprayer, which I still had left over from my truck bed that I did. I think I got a video out there about that. It still works. So got this set to 40 PSI. Even I can't mess this up. Although I shouldn't underestimate myself. Alright, so 2 minutes of this. Shake and bake. All right, so that was 1 coat on the front and back, and I just ran out, but that's a solid coat. I'm just gonna run down. Thankfully, I got a full coat on there. I'll go get another quart, be ready. Probably by the time I run this errand, it'll be ready for the second coat. This is looking great. So I got the lights installed. Just got the wires hanging out there because I haven't figured that out yet. I bought these lugs. These are the 7/8 lugs with the 1-inch pin from Harbor Freight. So that's all looking great. So the only unknown was these license plate lights that I bought from Amazon. I want to test them on the bench before I start messing with the truck, so that in case they don't work, it doesn't leave me hanging, because I want to make sure I've got license plate lights so I don't get pulled over. So I just set up with 12 volts on the left side there. I already measured the output just to be sure. So now all I gotta do is plug this in. All right, black to black, red to red. Works. Try the other one. Works too. All right, so I'm just prepping these before I get under the car, under the truck, and putting on this end, because I can pass this through, and then this will be 4 less joints that I have to crimp once I'm under there. So all I did was strip these just a little bit longer, and I got out 4 of the red butt joints, and then 4 red pieces of heat shrink, and just passing this in here, holding it steady. You really want to feel that shoulder touch against the metal on the inside of that, so that you're sure that you're all the way in there. And then just crimping with the red mark. If you've never used these before, there's a red, a blue, and a yellow right here. Red goes to red. And you don't want that shoulder to go in there, because then you might not get a good crimp on it, because you'll be crimping down on the insulation. And then I want to do a second pinch here. As long as I'm on this side of the connector. Now I got room to crimp the other side. Always remember to put these on, because this is something you always forget. Get under the truck and you crimp all the stuff together and you go, oh no. You got to pull it apart and do it all again. And hopefully I won't do it right here. So. When you go to put the new one in, you just want to get this situated so those are just barely sitting in the hole like that. I'm going to try not to mess with this wire loom at all, because I think I got enough room to work with right here. So close. Every step takes longer than you think. This is where I usually start rushing and making big mistakes, so I am trying hard not to do that this time. And it looks like we have a black and a white. I didn't think these were colored, but it looks like they are. I'm just grabbing the tape here. Trying to pull at that tape. Now we're getting somewhere. That's perfect. So I'm going to cut these. Because this connector is not needed on the new one. I just need to protect these once they're cut. So I'm going to put a piece of heat shrink on, get it to shrink, and then once it's all hot, I'll pinch this end when it's melting. I'll pinch this end and that'll seal it off. Like that. These were the old wires that went to this connector that I don't need anymore. So this will connect to the back of my connector. So I got that, and I got these ready. So I'm about ready to put the bumper on. I can't connect these until I get the bumper on. All right, so I didn't capture the momentous mounting, but it's really not much to write home about. It's just those 4 bolts, and man, woo, it's looking good. Honestly, I love it. My wires are hanging just in the right spots. That connects to that. So anyway, they're all visible. Make sure you position the heat shrink before you crimp. Heat shrink in position. This is a mistake I've made so many times, that's why I keep saying it. And the other thing I need to make sure before I commit to anything is that I have the polarity correct, the hot and the ground. So I need to turn the truck on, turn the lights on, and verify before I crimp. All right, ready?
Yeah. Yep.
It's on?
Yep.
Awesome. Cool.
It's off.
Yep, I just disconnected it. All right, all I gotta do is heat shrink and wire tie. Thank you, babe. Everything's on, right?
Everything is on.
Okay, awesome. Woo. Really getting in the home stretch now. All right. Apparently, I have all of the red loom. Like all of it. I have all the red loom. Okay, let's see. I just protect it from the weather a little bit. Thankfully, this red loom's a little bit bigger than the black, so I should be able to get the black inside there. Yeah, that'll be good. Yeah, like I say, I don't know what I'm going to do with these big cubes. I don't know. You guys got any suggestions on like a controller or something for the cab? I'd be happy to hear that. A little bit of tape to keep it in place. Now just a couple wire ties and I'll be done. So over here, looking at the bottom of the bumper, I just attached it to the existing wires so it's up and out of the way. Over here is it was already that black loom, so I tied it up high and I cut one out. I put one in there. I didn't like the way it sat because I had this flowing in this direction instead, and the red loom was hitting that edge, which would end up rubbing. Now it won't bang against that edge. I think we're done. Look at that, don't that look good? Man, I'm excited about that. Thank you for tuning into this. This has been months of my time, off and on as I've had time to get to it. You know, life's busy. If you like this sort of thing, please consider subscribing and liking the video. I see that I'm sitting around, I don't know, 340 subscribers or something. I guess 500 is a milestone. It'd be nice. I'm getting closer to retirement, so you know, maybe if I get enough subscribers and stuff, I could do some more of this in retirement. But anyway, I hope you like that bumper. Thanks, Move Bumpers, for making a good product. Of course, this is not sponsored. And I got some emails from them, you know, have you put it on? Make sure you post a video. So maybe I'll try to link this to them somehow. But it's a good product. I mean, the kit was flawless. And looks great, fits great. The only problems were my own, and so now I got to turn around and work on the front. I'll try not to wreck the truck in the middle of the build. So anyway, yeah, this looks great. And so till the next one, let's see, next will be, well, I don't know. The front bumper will be coming up. I have no idea, honestly. I need to pull the instrument cluster out and resolder all that because I got lights missing, and hopefully that'll fix some of that stuff. That plasma cutter was awesome once I got it hooked up to 220. The bandsaw is running fine with my rigged capacitor. Bought a set of manifold gauges, AC stuff. I need to learn how to use that. No training at all. But you and me, we can learn. You be blessed. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.